Good evening, gentlemen. So today I'm Rajat going to lecture on our topic disaster management in India. So any calamity that can occur and cost lives as well as resources in a meantime can be called a disaster. It's not only limited to only natural sources, but rather it is also subjugated with the man-made sources like chemical reactions, chemical leakage, or any infrastructure damage, or any natural calamities. They can also be a natural disaster, and such that for a country like ours, as big as India and as diverse with its geography, culture, and all, then disaster is quite bit of a challenge to actually manage, and thus we need to take some significant measures to actually take those as a challenge. For example, in plains or in a northern plains, Gangetic plains in northern region, it is quite said that they are prone to flood, and thus we need to actually make a team for flood relief and flood formation. And with, we can say that in coast of Odisha and coast of Tamil Nadu, it is said this cyclone hits a lot in those regions, and thus we also need to prepare in in those aspects. So managing disaster is not a linear way, but rather a significant co-linear way where we need to actually multiplicate our resources, our training, and thus our forces need to well trained in all of the situations to actually manage throughout those situations. And thus we should not only focus on the forces or the system only, but rather we need to train the prone areas, their people, to actually take some precautionary measure. And also with the technological development such as telecommunication, as the internet went out, we also can add on some precautionary measures where we can actually warn the civilians or warn the people to actually evoke themselves from the reason, the prone reason, and thus we can actually minimize the sufferings and uh, casualties. And with some sheer development, as our department is quite divided throughout their subs, throughout their zones, we need to coordinate well with them to actually make it possible for maximum output. Disaster is not inevitable. It is going to happen. No government, no form of manpower can actually evade this. But what we can do is we can actually minimize the casualties, minimize the losses in all time, and thus we need to work on those aspects. We should work on specialized operations like NDRF, SDRF, and thus flood relief, cyclone relief, dry relief, and so on. Government should focus on the communication and precautionary method also, and with the allocation and the coordination and the sheer coordination among all of them, it is viable that we will be able to procure minimum casualties and minimum losses among the disaster, and we will be able to revoke and maintain this peace upon. Thank you, Jai Hind. So it was a bad lecture. I don't know what, like, the time, you know, when I just go on the script, I'm not able to perform a bit, even a bit. So I think script is a bad thing for me. I can't actually mug up all of those. And so on, I need to work on myself, work on my own thought, and cherish my own thoughts. Yeah, I can take a blueprint from the script, but not mug up the whole script. So it is what I actually, you know, noticed that I can't actually cope up with scripts. So I need to read a lot of newspaper as much as I can. I only have 10 days left with my SSB. So if any of you have your SSBs throughout this time, best of luck, all the best, and do your best too. I'm going to perform my best too, and hope so to get the recommendation. And yeah, that would be a good thing for me. If you have any suggestion, please drop it down to in the comment section, and I will be reading those if possible, and then work on those. And that's it. If you want to like, subscribe, that's all yours. Thank you. Good evening, good morning, whatever time you watch. And Jai Hind.